everybody. Old Guy here. And today's novel is Suzanne Kingsbury, The Summer That Fletcher Greel Loved Me. I'm going to get that name right. Now, this is not my usual cup of tea, but I can't resist a novel that's set among the swamps and ghosts and Spanish moss-shrouded towns of the Deep South. See, I used to live in L.A., Lower Alabama. In fact, such Lower Alabama that I could see Florida from my backyard. And that's why I love that movie, Oh Brother, Wherefore Art Thou? Even though it was set in the 1930s, it could just as easily been the 1960s because those same people were running around. Now, this novel, set in the 1980s, but you could have been fooled into thinking it was set 20 years earlier in the 60s. And that's my problem with it. It's settling on tropes that really don't exist anymore. So what's this novel about? Well, Haley Ellison is a 16-year-oldish beauty living in the small northern Mississippi town of Hauser Banks with her hard-drinking, hard-fighting, and somewhat dangerous dad and his band of quasi-outlaws that spend their weekends around Haley's dinner table drinking and playing cards. Haley's mother deserted her when she was young, but a quasi-stepmother, Gwyneth, has moved in and tends to Dad and keeps the place somewhat civilized. Fletcher Greel is the son of the town judge, and Fletcher spent most of his life in northern boarding schools, showing up in Hauser Banks only for the summers. Well, however are we going to get these two kids together? That would be through Riley White and Crystal Wells, who are head over heels for each other. He, a poor white trash dam worker, like a dam, not damn, with a rebuilt Roadrunner and an undying love for the blues and none for country music. And she, Crystal, a beautiful black girl who sings like Billie Holiday and Nina Simone combined. What? Black girl, white boy, Mississippi? Well, yeah, because this is the 1980s. Now, if this was the 1960s, well, people would be swinging from trees. But by this time, not so much. Kingsbury is leaving the impression that this relationship between Crystal and Riley is forbidden. And I'm simply not buying it. Were there people who looked askance? Well, yeah. But the trouble that Riley and Crystal get into is more because of Haley than it is any disapproval by the local peanut farmers. Because Haley is a tease. She just is. She has strung along a couple of the local boys to the point of their immense frustration, and Crystal is Haley's best friend, and Riley is Fletcher's, and they introduce Fletcher to Haley, and the sparks fly. The Spurn boys, though, are just not happy about this. The race of everything, is just secondary. Frustration is primary. And boy, is there a lot of frustration here. Haley is having a fling with one of her dad's close friends, and it is weird. The sex scenes between them are like a penthouse letter than anything, and will leave you absolutely confused as to who did what to whom and how and all that. Indeed, the first actual scene where people are having actual sex is about 3/4 of the way through, and really, it's a relief. so to speak. So what you have here is a setup where you absolutely expect some kind of heat of the night explosion of passion and hate. And yeah, you do get that. But not for the reasons you may be thinking. And it is unresolved in a way that makes me question how Southern these boys really are, because there's just no way my pals in LA would have taken this lying down. There is a body hidden in the woods that, right from the beginning of the story, that figures prominently throughout, and may have a lot more to do with Haley's self-destructive urges than anything. She keeps going back to where it's buried. That's not healthy. It is an oddly constructed novel told in alternating chapters from Haley's and Fletcher's viewpoints. And it's an annoyingly constructed novel because Kingsbury is all avant-garde and MFA and doesn't use punctuation because that's so bourgeois. And it will drive you crazy. So be warned. So, did I like this novel? Yeah, actually I did. Even though I wanted to smack a few of the characters around, especially Haley. Riley is the best character in the book, and he steals every scene in which he appears. I tell you, I knew a couple of guys like him. Kingsbury grew up in Connecticut, like I couldn't figure that out, but has spent a considerable amount of time in the South, mostly working for universities where 1960s tropes are kept alive. This book was published in 2002 and has one of those required and very annoying acknowledgement sections at the end where the author thanks every single person in her life who gave her a half smile and so encouraged her muse. Spare me. Old guy here.